You know, you could have told me that we were actually starting, though.
No, you gotta be on your toes.
Boy, I don't even have my copy of the damn outline up. Anyway.
It's right here.
Yeah, but I like having it on my phone, ho, in case I need to look something up. Anyway. Welcome, y'all. Welcome back to the Baldwin Kids Podcast.
Hi, bitch.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
A space dedicated to discussing current events, mental health, and nerdy pursuits. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare, because I am the finished K.
And I'm the...
Lemon Lime Vesta. The Gatorade bottle reading.
I'm the trans fat Vesta.
Bitch.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to just start coming up with adjectives for you, because what do you... No, you don't get to use the water bottle again. Boy, we got a podcast to do. Can you...
Pure.
Ooh, Jesus.
Ooh, Jesus. Okay.
Pure.
So, I know, right? But
Sure,
I don't
Jan.
know who that is.
Sure, Jan. Sure, you are a delightful Christian woman. Goes to church every Tuesday. Goes to church
Tuesday?
I mixed it up. I meant to say goes to church every Sunday and Bible study every Tuesday.
Oh, come on, say Tuesday. The fuck? That's when I'm going to bed.
Anyway, welcome back, y'all. So Jennifer, I think, is finally starting to pack her shit and get the fuck back out of me. So I'll probably still be coughing a little bit. I apologize to any and everybody's ears.
Which Jennifer was that? It was
Hudson.
yours was Jennifer Hudson? I thought it was Jennifer Holiday.
Either or.
Oh, I'm saying because I have Jennifer Hudson where I'm every 2 seconds. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah.
But that's going to be happening a lot.
Can we, are you able to, mute your mic when you do that?
Yeah, I was just letting people know that's going to happen every once in a while.
In case you forget? Okay. Well, anyway, y'all, we are going to dive right into our current events, which means from jump, we are starting right off with our rapid fire section.
Hold on. Did I move it? Where'd it go? Oh.
I swear, this is like a bad karate movie level of...
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to start right off with a rest in peace to somebody who actually, wasn't super special to me, but was special to me in her own way. Rest in peace to Suzanne Huang, the soothing host of House Hunters. She passed a few days ago. She was just very warm and maternal, talking about, these rich white people looking for houses. Apparently served looks, too, according to Vesta's random Google search.
Except for that, don't know what that is.
A choice.
Yep. It's like this weird happy face on her chest, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
okay,
but
bitch. I want that outfit. All right, anyway.
You would. Anyway, but yeah, House Hunters was a thing. After school, my brother and I would come home, and my brother, mother, and I would all sit and watch House Hunters 3 or 4 episodes before we would get up and make dinner. And so it was the same thing with Steve Bloom, the voice actor who is Tom from Toonami, Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop, Roger Smith from The Big O. Just a few to name, but this is the same kind of thing of part of something, a part of me that kind of kept going. But yeah, quick rest in peace to her. Also, the Department of Homeland Security finally recognized that white nationalism, yeah,
wow,
apparently,
white nationalism, sick of tired, the
you got enough eyebrow to do that too.
What, none?
You're the one who says
that's
it.
Shady.
You're the one who says that all the time.
You bitch.
Yeah, apparently I used up all my diction earlier trying to see if I could say the part in Washington on your side.
And then I'm not getting married.
Yeah. But those two things. Yeah, apparently I used up all my diction trying to go, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I don't need Lin-Manuel Miranda jumping down our throats.
I mean, that'd only be a problem for one of us.
You big fat white man.
Anyway.
I think you mean Mr. Yeah. Yes.
I guess.
Tear it up like newspaper because it ain't built right. No way.
Stop. Anyway, you thought.
Oh, wow. You ain't one to talk neither. So.
And so I fall. Never mind. Let me not put my business out there.
Bitch.
Anyway.
So
we're gonna move on. I feel like we should have a sound effect for this one. For our Democrats.
They don't deserve it.
Oop. For our Democrats and Republicans, moving on to Anita and Hair Balsamic. Jair Bolsonaro.
Oh my god. Hair. Okay. Hair Balsamic.
I took myself out with that. Disgusted.
Okay, so what?
So they are shaking hands or whatever to try to come up with some kind of development project for the burnt down bits of the Amazon.
It's almost like that was the intention in the first place. Like,
yeah. The United States and Brazil have agreed to promote private sector development in the Amazon during a meeting in Washington this past Friday.
wow, I'm surprised.
They've also pledged a $100 million biodiversity conservation fund for the Amazon, led by the private sector.
Oh, what kind of
Bitch.
horse shit? How much?
$100 million.
Okay,
We have had
so
failed.
half a plane that y'all used for
Bitch,
the
get the
war.
fuck out of my head. I was literally about to say, so like a tenth of the cost of a plane that you guys fucked up.
Right. Y'all really gonna try and sit here and pretend that y'all ain't trying to build a strip mall on that shit.
And if it happens, can we please like just start firebombing it?
Yeah, I'm so down.
Same.
Bitch. Come we get all the queers up there. They're gonna be building and just on their break.
The queer folk, the black folk, the indigenous folk.
You just see work this pussy creeping up from the forest. This pussy. Yeah, that's the sound of the bombs hitting. Every time a bomb hits, someone's on a loudspeaker. Yeah, I'm all here for that. Smoke is all different colors.
I'm just like.
Get some queer firefighters to be on deck just so the fire doesn't spread anymore. Then they already let it.
Let me stop before I abuse that button. Finland actually was urging other European Union countries, because Brazil is not handling, the lungs of the goddamn planet burning, which they still the fuck are.
I've heard a lot of people argue about how the Amazon's they're not the lungs of the planet. Here's my problem. So what's, even if it wasn't, you're gonna let it burn anyway?
The largest rainforest?
Right, you're gonna let it, so your defense for letting it burn is that it's not the lungs of the planet. Okay, maybe it's not, because the planet will live with or without us. Bitch, it'll knock your ass right the fuck out and build another Amazon on top of Trump Tower. Right. Bitch.
Like,
I don't know how people play like that. People really were.
Because they worship the almighty
We need
dollar.
to have a section that's somewhat reoccurring, where I read all my shitty moments off of Facebook for like the week or two.
Oh,
because I have one for later.
My roommate actually gave me an idea for something for later.
Oh, shit.
I'll break it out if I get a chance.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to surprise you with it.
Okay.
I'll tell you on our break. But yeah, Hair Balsamic is facing a lot of criticism for not handling the fires the way he should.
Surprisingly.
But I mean, he's Trump with an actual believable tan, so
right.
I'm not surprised. But yeah, that's that. Also, Ed Buck, I'm sorry. The white man
Ed Nuck, if you buck.
Oh, please. If I ever see him on sight.
Who is that again?
Ed Buck is a prominent Democratic, I forget if he's a donor or activist or some such, but he's the guy that had two whole ass dead bodies of people somehow be like, I don't know how they got there.
Were they in his apartment?
Yeah, in his apartment, full of meth.
Like, we love Jeffrey fucking Dahmer.
See, for some reason I thought you were going to say Jeffree Star, and frankly...
Who?
I'm sorry, who?
Lord Moldy Butt. No, because Jeffrey Dahmer did that. I don't. So here's my whole thing. Mind you, if y'all follow serial killers and things like that, like I do, don't judge me. Jeffrey Dahmer really did go after mainly people of color. Now, not one of his victims was white. Maybe one, but all of his victims were like people of color, and this is like ringing some real uncomfortable similar bells.
Yeah, just a bit. Damn it, you don't know enough sign for me to just sign you that.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I'm just gonna have to make you learn.
So when me and Kay went to, if y'all follow the pages,
which you should,
we got to go to.
We can talk about that later.
Jeremy Dutcher concert. We'll talk about it later, I guess. But this bitch was signing to me as if I understood a word. I would look at me like, oh,
I was also, you know,
I can't see.
I
can barely talk, let alone see. I can't see. Bitch.
I was like mouthing at the same time as signing.
True.
I was hoping that you would get what I was saying from that. Because sometimes some signs are like intuitive, like the sign for stop.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. Stop saying, what's yikes? I forget that one. Yeah, I know yikes just because that's...
Yikes is basically like your fingers all splayed apart and going up and down.
It's just the face. I know what that means.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that's the other thing is that, like, we are getting off topic as fuck.
We sure are, because you...
I'm a language nerd.
Don't y'all also love when Kay nerds out about, like... I almost said dichotomy. That is not the word. Languages. What is that called? Multiple tongues? What is that? There's a word
Polyglot.
For that. Thank you.
Literally, polyglot, multiple tongue.
Bitch, I don't read. Bitch, I make music in my basement. I don't read.
You make excellent music.
That y'all will get to hear later. So what else are we talking
about? Well, that's honestly all about it that I've got for the Democrats and Republicans. I haven't gotten around to reading the listening to the entirety of the debate.
I'm checked out.
Yeah.
Like I know I need to watch it just so I can decide who's not garbage, but
I kind of want to wait until around half of the candidates finish dropping out.
Yeah.
I am hoping and praying that Joe Biden either dies or drops out.
Yeah, Biden's out here really.
He like Andrew Yang. He's
really letting the memes get to him. Like he really thinks people actually like him.
Andrew Yang came up, basically like verbally came up to him, was like, "Here's your lace, sir."
Right.
It was like, you just said the opposite of that 2 minutes ago. Which is it, Joe?
Right.
And I'm just like,
what is it?
And Joe's over here like,
what is it, Joe?
Joe's over here like, pay no attention to the lace on my forehead.
I know that's supposed to be, I almost said Amanda Lepore. That is not a drag queen.
Sounds like one.
Oh no, Amanda Lepore is a trans singer. She's the one that looks like super busty plastic Marilyn Monroe. It's like with the giant lips and like the big ass.
You'll have to show me the picture.
You'll know who she is when you see her. But I forgot what drag queen did that, but I always
Alaska
imagine,
Thunderfuck.
Thank you. I always just picture my names. Who's Orochimaru? What's his wife's name? Melania.
Millennia?
Yeah.
That's my mom called her.
Yeah, like I always picture her when I hear that line. Pay no attention to the lace on my forehead.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to our around the world. Around the world, which is starting off with the EU, while also telling Brazil to get their shit together. Also, it's basically like, yo, Boris, can we talk? Like, can we talk for a minute? Because, let's see, they have, at the time of this recording, they have 8 days to come up with a Brexit plan.
Ooh.
Or the EU is like, no, you're staying here, basically.
Right.
Well, here.
Oh, here we go.
What? I like doing this.
Uh-huh.
European Union leaders have given Boris Johnson an ultimatum to come up with a new Brexit plan by the end of September, or face up to a no deal. The deadline, agreed to at a meeting in Paris on Wednesday evening, comes as the bloc's chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, told Mr. Johnson to stop pretending to negotiate. basically they're like, shit or get off the pot, sis.
Right.
Like, you talk a big game, sis. Like, come through, sis. Give us a plan.
You big, fat, white, nasty, smelling fat bitch.
And I'm here for it. Let me see what else. Emmanuel Macron met with Antti Rinne, Finland's prime minister and the current holder of the blah, blah, blah. Let's see. If the UK wants to discuss alternatives to the existing Brexit agreement, then these must be presented before the end of the month. Like I said, they're saying do it or don't, but stop waffling. We don't do filibuster.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here. Thank you. Which I'm here for it. Like, bring these bitches to task. What else have we got around the world? Ooh! So,
You got what I need.
would you say he's just a friend? Oh, baby!
Ooh, come on, Louis Armstrong.
Red roses too.
I love Louis. I love him.
So, Bibby is... No. So Bibi is getting indicted on corruption charges.
Who's Bibi?
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh.
Whose I guess
like
childhood.
Bibi and Cece from the Proud Family.
Ooh, at least they actually are relevant.
Oh.
No. I guess his childhood nickname or some kind of nickname was just Bibi, B-I-B-I.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let's see. Oh, this is old. This is really old. We're just gonna skip this. This is like February old. Now, hear me out, y'all. I'm still getting used to adding stuff from, well, around the world. So I haven't been as diligent with our dates for things for that.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm not shading you. I'm saying, yeah, kind of.
That is not the right button.
You pressed the wrong button. I wasn't shading it because we were bad at that for a little while.
Yeah, we were. Like our first couple of episodes, we were terrible talking about shit from 2017.
It's like, ooh.
Yeah. So this was from the end of February.
Skip it.
But yeah, we're gonna skip it. But that was it for our Around the World section.
Yeah.
Which means it's time for our Palette Cleance Giselle Knowles Carter.
I am the mother, sister and ruler, Ocean Kuchiba. I am the mother, uncle my gold chain. I saw my whole chain.
Parkwood, don't sue us if you don't stop that.
I'd be like soulful. I am a whole mood.
I am a whole mood.
Mood.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
So anyway, starting off with our Palette Cleance, let's see something. Oh wow, that is a typo. So congratulations on Elton John.
That made me laugh. I saw it. I'm like, let me leave it.
Bitch, it was like 1 a.m. when I was typing this. But yeah, Elton John has hit 29 years of sobriety.
God bless you, Queen.
I mean,
listen.
I still need to watch Rocket Man, if for no other reason, for Taron Egerton's thighs.
You got thighs? Hold on. Did you mean my dinner?
You did not say your dinner.
Bitch, I'll eat thighs anytime they're presented, okay? I do not discriminate.
You might want to, like, just...
Yeah, I'm just... leave me alone.
Taron Egerton.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what to spell his name.
You could have asked me, bitch. Taron. Images. Oh, are you really just searching for... Not the bitch!
Oh, wrong button.
Wow.
Ooh. That's a whole dinner with leftovers. I'm into that. Mr. Edgerton, darling.
What is pussy?
So
we're trying to celebrate somebody's sobriety. You.
Elton probably want his lives too. What the fuck you mean?
That man has a whole husband to do that.
Okay, they can both have his size. One thigh for each one.
So anyway, Tyler the Creator, his Earthquake went platinum.
I
believe, wasn't that like his first platinum single?
Probably not his first.
The thing is, like, I don't remember anything else. Like, and this is absolutely no shade whatsoever. I don't remember anything else by him that got really popular.
The shit that he put out when he first came out got real popular.
With Odd Future?
Yeah, like the pseudo demonic stuff that like just aroused everybody that wanted to be different. No shit, but
like
that was.
I would expect some of it to go like silver or gold, but platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Still, either way, congratulations to our one of our favorite musical queerdos.
It's not one of my favorites. I prefer Arch. Yeah, he is.
I was gonna say that. I feel like that whole album is about him getting his heart broken from a dude from the first time, if I remember correctly. So I'm here for it.
Same.
I'm here for more openly queer black men in hip hop and music in general. Did we mention that Sam Smith is they them now?
We mentioned that, yeah.
Oh, we did? Okay. I'm just talking about queer people in music. But yeah.
Because you remember I went on that whole list and it was...
Oh, right. You are right. You are correct. And last but not least, of course, Cody Lee, somebody who stole just about everybody's heart, sitting and playing the piano for America's Got Talent, ended up winning the entire competition. Casual reminder that Cody Lee is, I think, like 20 years old, is autistic, is also blind.
Sweetheart.
And like when, like I just watched a video of his audition, and
yeah, I wanted to cry.
Because him being surprised that he actually got in, and then him being further surprised that somebody slam dunked the fuck out of that golden buzzer.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, don't mind me. Don't mind the random drinking sounds, y'all. Like this is my anti-Jennifer fluid.
Right. Like we got shit happening in here right now. Okay.
Yeah, stress causes other issues. And your girl
anxiety and depression cause a lot of issues.
Oh yeah, but I'm used to dealing with that shit. No, I'm getting ready to move.
I'm not. My body's a whole different beast right now. Y'all had indigestion, and now my tongue's doing weird shit that it's normally not doing on the weekends. Like, I don't exactly. There's a lot happening, but I'm pretty sure it's just reacting to something.
Stress.
You know. Of me having indigestion, probably. Which is gone now, y'all. Listen, Tums, Alka-Seltzer is garbage. I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm sorry. Who?
Yeah, like I was upset. That did nothing to me.
Interesting.
Like Alka-Seltzer did nothing. Like, then also, if y'all use Alka-Seltzer, y'all never used it before. Do not put it in cold water.
Really?
Ever put Alka-Seltzer in cold water?
Really?
That tastes like the smeg the Satan. Okay. Tastes disgusting. Like it's lemon lime flavor, so in like room temperature water it tastes fine. It just tastes like Sprite that was made like 30 years ago. So it's alright. But in cold water it's like amplified, so it tastes worse.
Honestly, whenever I did Alka-Seltzer, I would just like just enough water for the instructions, and then down that bitch like a shot. Like I hardly taste it.
Yeah.
But I like the sensation of it being cold because I could feel it going the whole way down.
But like Tums was the real MVP. So anyway,
with that, I believe we are going to move on to our first musical break, which Mr. Fahrenheit decided to bless us with a song called "Want It." Okay,
light backstory. He put this on this label run by some ain't shit German dude.
Oh, that bitch?
Yeah, that bitch. Everybody came for him and his neck. It's kind of big, so it wasn't hard to miss. But, you know, and so this is like fuck you, bitch. He's like, play it. So I'm excited.
All right. So then, as always, get into it, get your life, and we shall return after this. ready to dive in, or do you have any more commentary?
About what?
Just in general.
No, not really.
Okay.
Okay. Mental health time.
Indeed it is. All right. So then, and I love that I have this written down now. Before we get into our mental health section, as always, I've got our little disclaimer. Vesta and I are two loudmouths with some recording software, some mics, and a touch of experience about navigating towards better mental health. We talk about these things to do our part to combat the stigma around them. We are not mental health professionals in any way, shape, or form. So please, please, please take what we say with a smart car full of salt.
Random, but I'll allow it.
But you'll allow it, bitch?
Alright, so what are we talking about today?
So, darling.
Buttons, darling.
I cannot stand you. Anyway, so this is an interesting one because based on recent activity, we are talking about canceling friendships today. Ta-da!
Yay. Canceling friendships. That thing that we all should probably be doing more often, but don't want to do out of necessity of friendship.
Or out of, feeling really lonely.
Yep.
So, we're going to kind of try to dance around some of the stuff that happened within our friend group fairly recently. Names have been changed and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But, let's get started with a brief rundown of what happened. Or do we want to get into it? I feel like we kind of should, just for some backstory.
Yep.
Which I'll fast forward to the pertinent part, but Vesta, myself, which a lot of you, if you follow our Instagram page,
That was ugly.
if you follow our Instagram page, you would have known that Labor Day weekend, we actually went to the Renaissance Fair.
Right.
Looking sickening as usual, though Vesta was actually progressively sickening.
True. That strep throat happened.
But we towards the end of the day, Vesta, myself, our friends Scott, Paul, and Eli, we all met up towards the end, and Scott was actually enjoying some fresh tobacco. Mm-hmm. Which smelled amazing, by the way, because it's like that good pipe tobacco. I think he was having like some, I think it was blueberry or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're kind of kikiing or whatever, and we see this family 20-ish yards from us where the dad is obviously drunk, damn near knocks something over, and then transitions to yelling at one of his kids to go to the fucking stall then.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that.
We're not going to get to... Oh, yeah, and our friend Alex.
Yeah.
Alex and I end up booking it to go try to track down security to keep an eye on the family, because they looked like the type to strike their children behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. And as y'all have heard before, Vesta and I are not on that kick.
We don't stand for that.
We don't stand for child abuse. It is abuse. Don't try to tell me otherwise, because you can't, convince a child's brain that this is only a punishment. I should not produce cortisol or anything like that. Your kid is going to freak out. Your kid is going to panic. And no amount of, I do it because I love you, child.
That makes it worse.
That makes it literally worse, because it sets up a conflict in the kid's brain. But we're not going to get into psychology like that. Just don't hit your fucking kids. Anyway, Alex and I run off, get security. Security is keeping an eye on them. And we meet up back with Vesta. And then we meet back up with, and at this point, actually, Vesta and a couple of other people had left from the group. So it was actually just...
yeah, I was gone.
Yeah. It was actually, at this point, it was just me, Alex, Eli, Paul, and Scott.
Right.
We get back because Paul and Eli ran off to a corner to keep an eye on them along with Scott. And we get back, and Eli and I are kind of commiserating about how we both, suffered a lot of abuse as kids. And then Paul has the nerve to say something along the lines of, yeah, but kids do need a swat every now and again. The more, the better. And I'm just like, oh, really? Interesting. So I, be like, you do realize I have literal PTSD over that, right? Like actual diagnosed post-traumatic stress disorder, right? But then Alex, trying to be the peacemaker, was like, that was a joke, right? Like, in really poor taste, but that was a joke because Alex, being the peacemaker, tried to give Paul the chance to at least cover it up and walk it back. No, didn't. So I storm off. We leave. The ride home from fair, because we'd all driven up in one car, was nigh silent. Paul ended up, coming back to my place with Eli, and they were kind of hanging out along with everyone else. I left them alone to hang out up front until everybody was sober enough to drive home.
I didn't.
Because while I don't see it, I still don't want them to get hurt in a car accident because somebody was too turned to drive. Because that could hurt somebody else.
I wasn't around. I left, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was,
you weren't here for that.
Once I found... So at this point, I didn't even find out about this whole scenario. You changed everyone's name, so I literally we have a vague idea of who the hell you're talking about. So, like, I'm going to keep it nameless. But once I found out from two people specifically...
Here, just mouth their names and I'll tell you who their pseudonyms are.
Mm-hmm.
That's Scott.
And then...
That's Alex.
Okay. So, Scott and Alex?
Mm-hmm. Here. Scott.
Okay, cool.
Alex.
Lit. Alright, so yeah, I found out from Scott and Alex about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
I didn't know until I got there.
By the way, y'all, I was just kind of making gestures and stuff so we could keep recording and Vesta knows who I'm talking about.
Because my brain was about 15 words behind you during that entire story. And at that point, when I found that out, I was done. Mm-hmm. And who's the bitch in question?
Paul.
Yeah, so Paul kept trying to make nice with me. And I was like, hey, kid, we're going to your room. See you later.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Yeah. And by we, I mean me and Ace. But yeah, bye. No.
Mm-hmm. But then we come to find out later on that Paul, who is a cis white guy, is all too comfortable with saying nigga around his friends.
Already dead to me off of that. You're dead to me.
No ops on the radar.
Dead to me.
Paul is, really questionable about how he views trans people. Which went from 6 feet under to 12 feet under.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Oh yeah, and Paul's being super manipulative and stuff like that.
Cis-centric. Very
cis-sexist.
Cis-sexist, yeah. That vary about that.
Mm-hmm.
Where
every relationship has a guy and a girl.
Yeah, no matter what kind it is. I'm like,
No.
But you don't even have either. So...
Oh, I promised I wasn't going to drag his appearance.
Yeah,
I promised I wasn't going to drag his appearance.
You wonder why you don't have any.
Oh, and of course the buttons are off because I was going to press something. I'm just going to leave it at...
You big, fat, white, nasty, smelling, fat bitch.
Even though only one of those things is wrong.
Is it?
Not fat.
Something is.
It is? I've seen bigger. Anyway. So, yeah. So, I was already...
you weren't featuring it.
Everyone's done.
We give this backstory to say that, for all intents and purposes, I don't speak to Paul anymore.
I don't either.
Not
by my choice.
You actually was like, told, said no. I have not full-fledged been like told him directly that he's done.
I have. I've been blocked because of it. I didn't know if I told you that. But yeah,
Paul
I've been
blocked you?
because of that. Yeah.
Paul blocked you.
Because they were just like, well, if you don't want to talk to me, then let me know. And I'm like, you don't get that privilege from me.
Like, bitch, you don't get to be over here pulling a Fantasia some. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free your...
I have a lot to say about that bitch later. So here's the thing. Who's
That's Alex.
Alex, right. Alright, so Alex, wait, are we talking about the right person? With the puppy?
That's Eli.
Okay, cool. So here, on the other side of this, we are all still friends with Eli, most of us. Eli is very quick to defend. What's
Paul?
Yeah, thank you. Very quick to defend Paul. Good names. And it's all out of all the reasons they've given to me. Whilst I understand them to an extent,
We got rid of the most apt button for this.
oh, whatever. We already know that dick has no value. And while I understand some of the reasons, some of them are big red flags that they are ignoring. He's a different person around me. He's not like he acts different with his friends than he does with me. That ain't the biggest red flag
That is
with
anybody
I know.
That is a sea of crimson.
Like,
But I feel like we're airing out too much of our own mess.
yeah.
Because it's supposed to be more of the mental health stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But suffice to say, we brought that up to kind of set the stage.
Oh, dramatic. All right. But yeah, so, and in that case, that is a friendship that's not worth having.
No, that friendship is over. The benefits of that friendship is over. I gotta find a new fucking vape cart guy now.
Those are hard to find.
I know. Vape carts and dick are both plentiful.
There's a lot
And
more.
you know what the nice thing is?
If
If you look hard enough, you can actually find wholesome and plentiful. Wholesome and non-toxic dick and vape cart. Imagine that. He's just... And the thing is that when the friendship first started, because the thing with Paul and I was that Paul and I we started off as just kind of hooking up periodically, and then I found out he sold cards, and then I thought that he was a decent person. And then it turns out he wasn't, and I'm like, oh, well, look, this friendship hasn't lasted very long, so it doesn't hurt at all to just cut you out. Goodbye.
I never liked this bitch no how. I had problems with him from the get-go.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother...
Yeah, he was already starting to unveil some
That was
problematic sides.
That's a one more thing for another episode. But I noticed things off the bat that are just toxic. The fact that... see, again, that is a one more thing for another episode. Because I have problems with Chevy Chasers. So, what we bring this up to say is that not every friendship needs to stick around.
Yeah.
Not every friendship needs to be kept.
And sometimes you outgrow people. Sometimes you grow in different directions.
Right.
And with some people that you outgrow, like I feel like I've outgrown a couple of friendships, and we'll like link up, or not link up, but we'll like catch up with each other on Facebook Messenger or something or whatever. And we're in completely different portions of our life, and I'm still cheering them on from a distance. I just know that, we're not in the same lane. And that's
actually
okay.
cheering them on from a distance. And actually cheering them on from a distance.
Yeah, like
Unlike people that say that and don't do it.
Well, like, perfect example. There's a bunch of people, because I spent a very ill-advised year and a half in Bible college. Which that is a whole luggage set.
Told me that, I was just like, and I am proud that you are still here, because there's no higher concentration of the devil and his antics than at a Bible college. So, anyway,
I spent an ill-advised year and a half at Bible college, and the thing is, I learned a lot there, and I don't think I would trade the experience. I wouldn't avoid the experience had given the opportunity to repeat, my senior year in high school. Maybe if I had my current mind back then, my ass would have been going to an HBCU.
Man, ain't that the real shit?
But
if I knew that honor programs and
Oh, that's a trap.
Meaningless shit. Yeah, if I didn't know that, if I knew the same shit about that now that I did back then, oh bitch.
Yeah,
It'd have been a whole different ballgame.
But there's a bunch of people who obviously couldn't handle me and my unapologetic blackness or my unapologetic questioning of religion, and so they deleted me with the quickness, which is fine. I mean, if they can't handle me, they can't handle me. Go handle somebody lower.
I lost a lot of people. I lost a lot. Fuck. Oh my god, why was that so loud? But I've lost a lot of people like that. Facebook is like a prime example. I'll post some shit and I'll check people so hard if they try and come for me. There's one bitch who's on their way out. I already said his. On his way out. And I can't wait for that to happen.
But there's a couple that actually stayed around, and they're off doing their own church thing. They're off, trying to build communities in the country. They're trying to, do what they feel is right. And while I don't agree with their religion in the slightest bit,
none whatsoever.
At the same time, hey, we're about to have a kid. I'm like, congratulations, stuff like that. Like, I still cheer them and their life on from a distance.
Like,
I know
babies.
that and given the opportunity to hang out again, yes, I would love to meet their kid because I love kids. But mostly,
yeah, mostly.
But our lives went in completely different directions, and that's okay. We outgrew the closeness of our original friendship. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be happy for you. At the same time, though, there was somebody that I was really close with. I think it was like right after I came back from that ill-advised year and a half, where I got really close with him and would randomly crash at his place. We would talk and stuff. There was nothing, as far as I knew, at least. As far as I knew, he was straight. That sounded shady.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, as far as
accidental shade button.
Just very softly shade. But yeah, he's one of those people that I ended up distancing myself from intentionally because he was taking up a shit ton of my emotional labor. He was taking up a shit ton of my energy. On multiple occasions, he was interfering with my ability to sleep, not by waking me up, but by being in there was something happening all the time that would end up keeping me up until 2-3 in the morning relatively frequently.
Yeah, there are people that,
and I have said this before, despite my faith, if you will, or lack thereof, one of the few things that I hold sacred is sleep. You fuck with my sleep, I might be liable to kill you.
That's true.
But I ended up distancing myself from him. And the thing is that he's one of those people that, he wanted to be a paramedic. Ooh. But anytime, because he also took care of this is a long roundabout thing. His stepdad's oldest son's son.
Okay.
I think. Adopted son. So his adoptive nephew?
Okay.
Or something like that. Regardless, the kid was really close to him. And anytime this guy who, let's call him, what was his last name? Let's just call him Jay. Anytime Jay had to, help out with any kid that got injured, he would see that kid's face, the one that he, is close to and takes care of, and every injured kid he worked with, and it really fucked with him. And I, at the time, did not have the emotional maturity or endurance to be able to handle all of that, so I had to distance myself from him. And these days, I really want to know what's going on with him.
Right.
I want to see how he's doing. I want to see if he kept up with the paramedic thing. I want to, grab a beer and kiki for a few hours. Let's see what's going on. It's been 7 years since last time we saw each other. But, that was one friendship that I soft canceled. The thing with Paul is hard cancel.
Hard. No, not much forgiveness canceling. Right.
We're going to be using that button a lot for this.
And my thing is, you don't have to keep people around out of obligation. Oh, we've been friends for so long. No. Anybody, with few exceptions, because I have close friends that they're close friends for a reason. They ain't going away unless they do something real bad.
Real heinous.
Right, which, again, if they're my best friends, doubt it. You know what I mean?
Because you don't surround yourself
with,
shit people.
I don't do that anyway. So, I feel like it's a little different with me coming along friendships like that because I read people, not like read them to fill. Well, I do that. I read people to fill, but I also can read their energy like almost instantly.
God, you're such a Pisces.
I am. I'm sure I am, bitch. You ain't, and I know I can just tell how people are energy wise, and whether they're lying, whether it's a mask or anything like that.
And we do listen to Mama Maya. If someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time.
But yeah, so like I'm very careful about it, which but that's come from years of
dealing with ancient people.
Me giving my allowing them to have the chance of my friendship. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds really fucked up, but I mean, that's your friendship. You carry that on the highest pedestal you can. Any part of yourself you do that with. So I don't just give that shit to nobody, because I will. You don't think I'll push your ass about 2 steps to the left, You got the wrong one, bitch. Anyway.
Damn it! That's a reference to somebody we don't see it for.
Who?
You got? I'll tell you off the air.
I'm sorry. Who?
What about just like canceling people in general, though?
Okay, all right. Oh god, it's gonna get on my fucking nerves. All right.
I was gonna say, do you want me to start?
I can't stand people that are like, I hate cancel culture. Here's the thing.
It's called accountability for your actions, ho.
Right, like you just don't want to feel bad for consistently supporting a shitty act or person or belief. So fuck you. Like, said person who's getting canceled for me, you know, very soon probably, just only dates skinny white boys and thinks it's okay. He's a person of color, by the way. So, I'm not gonna knock you for who you date until it's some problematic shit like that. Because that delves into like people racial preferences, quote unquote. Now they're not racist. Let's not go down that road. But that's basically what that is.
That could be a whole nother thing.
Right, that's a whole different thing. But like, wow, I just lost my train of thought. I went about 2 stops away and I got off at the wrong stop. Where was I?
You're talking about how you are gonna
Yeah, okay, cancel culture. Thank you. I will cancel any of the fuck body that deserves it. There's a lot of people I've canceled. People are like, oh, but like I've canceled Alligator Banks. I've canceled Chick-fil-A.
I'm sorry. Who?
Right. I cancel a lot of like celebrities and like things and actions and people and followings and whatever. And quote unquote movements, because Blue Lives Matter is not a movement. It's a temper tantrum that got out of hand.
Trash.
Right. All Lives Matter is also a temper tantrum that got out of hand.
Yeah, because they don't want to do anything but try to silence black people, but that's
not
nothing.
Even that. But I'm gonna say this one thing and leave that alone. You're implying that us saying Black Lives Matter says only Black Lives Matter. And if you really paid attention or cared, you would know that we've been the ones saying all lives matter this entire time. Anyway, that's that on that.
It's like saying Mexican food is good.
Right, I ain't saying that I ain't gonna fucking dive
into some
Wade Stevenson Chinese food, bitch. Give me some orange chicken and fried rice. I will suck. But I'm not saying that only Mexican food is good. That ain't what that means. And some of y'all look and sound like y'all went past the 5th grade anyway. So, but with cancel culture, people deserve it, and we ain't gotta apologize for it. If you also have the right to not apologize for continuously following garbage, but you will be judged every step of the way.
Yeah, I've actually gotta clean out my former work playlist because we were listening to it on the way up, and I'm like, ooh, trash.
Bitch, Kay had on Swish Swish by Katy Perry.
In my defense, it did have the perfect tempo for sanding.
I guess, but it's a lot more talent that has that.
There's plenty of talent.
One of Beyonce's lace-tied follicles has more talent than in her entire discography. Okay. Because only one of them can even sing on key.
Don't read me. I already know.
Bitch. If y'all stand for Katy Perry, y'all are also canceled.
Because I've also got Damn it, there's no STD I can think of that starts with an A.
Yeah, I can't think of one either. Damn. What were we going to say?
Azealia Banks.
Alligator. Alligator Banks.
See, but gator skin is something nice, though.
It is?
No, it's like I already didn't see it for her, and she was my ultra problematic fave. And I'm like, she got one more time to open her mouth,
and she did.
And she did.
She talks about Lizzo. Like, I was hot about that.
First of all, how dare you? But anyway,
I mean, she couldn't even sing nor rap.
I mean,
you just got good producers.
And you know, she only opened up her mouth.
You got a Janet career, girl. You got good producers. That's about all you got.
You know, she only opened her mouth so she could get some attention because she dropped another Unce record about a week ago.
I mean, that really does describe about everything she's ever put out. Anyway, we're going
semi-off topic.
Yeah, but anyway, cancel culture is not a bad thing. Y'all just don't want to be labeled as bad people for supporting garbage.
But here's one of the big parts where it ties back into mental health, though, and this goes for interpersonal as well as celebrity stuff. One of my favorite voice actors of all time, forever and ever and always, is Steve Bloom.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about that.
Mm-hmm. Steve Bloom, like I mentioned earlier, Roger from The Big O, Tom from Toonami, Mugen from Samurai Champloo, Guilmon from Digimon.
A lot of people in a lot of anime that
just
he
a
made
shit
most
ton.
of the money off of.
He was one of the... I hesitate to say that he raised me, but I got my first foray into anime when I was about 7.
Mm-hmm.
With Toonami, because of Toonami, and watching Dragon Ball Z, Tenchi Muyo, and Sailor Moon. So this is a voice that I've been able to pick up and recognize for, more than 20 years. And so, following stuff that he's in is kind of important to me because this is somebody, again, who I've been able to pick up and recognize for 20 years, somebody I've been a big fan of for more than 20 years. But the fact of the matter is, and it's going to hurt like shit, but if something were to come out about him, something verifiable, like he did this, that, and the third, and it ain't shit and might possibly be illegal, if something like that were to come out, it would hurt like shit. And I'd probably still, linger on a channel for a couple seconds and then change a channel.
But goodbye.
Because I don't support that shit. Be it, him saying something shitty about, a Black Lives Matter movement or something, because Steve Bloom is a whole white man.
Yeah.
But, you know what he's doing? He is aging gracefully. Do you know why?
Because he minds his goddamn motherfucking business, bitch. See, that's another reference to someone who will never be mentioned by name on this podcast.
I don't think he's tall enough to be on this ride anyway.
I don't think he's tall enough to be on this ride anyway. She couldn't even handle the ride. Anyway, I'm sorry. I am labeling us as two thoughts. We are children of Jeebus.
I'm sorry.
Christine, ma'am, I just want to meet you. Please, God.
You mean how hard I was fan? No, we can talk about that during the nerd section.
Yeah, true.
I just canceling people sometimes for especially for long-term relationships, be it celebrity, not necessarily worship, but celebrity reverence, I guess would be a good way to put me with Steve Bloom, because I was literally squeaking with excitement when I got to meet him at C2E2 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably post a picture on our Instagram.
Of course.
But be it, celebrity followings or close friendships, if it's got to be canceled, it's got to be canceled. You got to preserve your peace, sis.
Right.
And
if your mental health is at stake, it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. And people can change. Oop. Don't mind me. I'm just fidgeting with my feet.
What the fuck was that?
But because I was actually talking about this with somebody. The one of the awesome things about people, though, is that they can change.
I can make a change.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I will cancel people with the door cracked. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I'll
if
be
they deserve it, yeah.
Yeah. If they did something truly 150% heinous and doubled the fuck down on it, that door is shut and locked.
Out.
If with the person I was talking about, whose last name I can't think of, because I was going to give him JM or something, but I can't remember his last name. But with that one, the door is cracked. And at this point, I'm actually trying to actively open it up and get a look and try to contact him again before I move way out of the area.
Mm-hmm.
because he was someone that I know he had the best intentions at heart. He was just too draining for me at the time, and I couldn't handle it. What's that look mean?
Oh, because now I know who you're talking about.
No, you don't.
Oh, I don't.
No, this is somebody I don't think I've ever talked about with you.
Oh, Lit. Okay. Then
I'll tell you on the
brain's
break, because I think I should just remembered his last name, but I'll tell you on the break.
I hate that you keep doing that every time you say I tell you on the break.
What,
Just like
the hand flap?
Has your planet
Always been so destroyed. No, but honestly,
why you got your planet looking like this, B? I'll explain that later in the nerdy section.
But the summation of this very long mental health section, because woo child,
this was long. Yeah.
Is protect your peace. If you need to cancel somebody so that way you can feel better, it might hurt like ripping off a damn Band-Aid at first, but girl, things heal better in the air after it has set over some.
And sometimes, being the bigger person has its perks, when you want to cancel a person and just, go on your way and not say stuff. But sometimes it just feels real good to be a petty ass bitch to someone that hurt you. Mm-hmm. Which is the subject of this next song for the musical break.
Oh, this is actually quite fitting because we were talking about Paul being ain't shit. So, this track called Hope It Hurts You Too by our lovely Vesta.
It's gonna be out on at least one store on the day it's supposed to be out.
Yeah, these companies ain't shit.
Y'all can eat my entire asshole.
Like, the second this comes available on Spotify, I'm gonna have it on repeat.
Y'all are gonna like it. It's Mr. Fahrenheit produced it.
Of course.
Oh yeah, I did tell you that. Yeah, Mr. Fahrenheit produced. Well, helped me produce it. Y'all will be able to hear it. Anyway, yeah.
This is Hope It Hurts You Too by Vesta. Get into it. Get your life. Vogue a little if you must, and we'll be back.
I hope you lay awake at night and think about the things I wrote of you before. 'Cause every thought I gave to you, I took them back when you first stepped on up that door, baby. I know you think you're being bad just 'cause you think that being cold is tough, I guess. You don't wanna speak to me, that's fine. You lost the fight before it was a war, and I won't come back for more. 'Cause what you had to give to me, I had it better. And what you tried to take from me, I built up stronger. And every single thing you said, I will remember, yeah. I will remember, yeah. And I hope it hurts you too, yeah. I hope it hurts you too. Whoa, whoa. And every second I've been crying, the heartache since I'm dying. I hope it hurts you too, baby. I hope it hurts you too. Yeah, yeah. I hope it hurts you too. Whoa, whoa. And every second I've been crying, the heartache since I'm dying. I hope it hurts you too, baby. Tired of being the bigger person. Sick of fighting, sick of the living, learning. Oh yeah. And if that means that I'm not feeling now, I guess I'll play the game. We could have gotten somewhere here, it really is a shame.
I hope y'all enjoyed that as much as I did, because I've heard the full version, and oh bitch, there was a moment later on in the song. There's a moment later on in the song that just sends the fuck out of me each time. Why'd you zoom in that? Anyway.
I didn't expect that to happen. But yeah, so the funny story behind that part, when you guys hear it, y'all know what it is. That wasn't supposed to be in there. And I thought I do this when we're recording the podcast all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think I stopped it and I didn't.
Which is where we also got the very short-lived "oh no" sound effect.
So I was recording and I say something after I sing like this really long, elaborate high note. Mind you, that note, that's like the 10th take of that, because my voice would stop. My voice would just be like, no, yeah. No. Oh my god. So yeah, nerdy shit.
All right, so let me actually pull it up. So apparently nobody has any unique ideas anymore, so that's a thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So there is a Mortal Kombat movie happening.
Yeah.
Where the hell is the link I kept for that? Here we go. So, the cast so far. Let me actually pull the article up. So, honestly, like, Mortal Kombat, like the original movie from, I forget if it was the 80s or the 90s. It is absolutely terrible, and I love it.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's one of those terrible movies you kind of have to love. But let me see. We've got, we're just going to kind of go over the cast. And Vesta's going to be a thirsty thought, as usual. Let's start with Mehcad Brooks as Jax Briggs.
Okay. I'm into that. He's Jax?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. I'm into that.
Honestly, Jax from the game could get it, though.
True.
From the recent one. Chin Han from The Dark Knight and Marco Polo is playing Shang Tsung.
Who's Shang Tsung? No, that's not my daddy from... That's not my husband from Mortal Kombat.
I think you're thinking of Kung Lao with the hat. Yeah, that's Kung Lao.
The Mortal Kombat version of Vega from Street Fighter. The same person in different dimensions.
How?
They just are. They have the same energy. First bottoms. He is wearing a Beyonce formation hat with blades on it.
Stop.
That is not a coincidence. Stop. That is not a... You know when he lands on that fucking stage, it's dun 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 dun. You know, he caused all this conversation. I need to not read my husband like that. Is he in this movie?
Who? Shang Tsung?
Yeah.
Maybe. We've got Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion. He was in Lost, Westworld, and Endgame.
Oh, shit. He's going to be... Okay. I'm into that. I like that.
Yeah, we all know who Scorpion is.
Yeah. Get over here.
Get over here!
If they don't make a reference to that in this fucking movie, I will lay in hellfire.
We've got Tadanobu Asano as Raiden.
Okay, let me
Let's
see.
And let me just read, because he doesn't have any, like, quick credits listed here. He may not have lasted long as the Warriors 3's Hogun while facing down against Cate Blanchett's Hela in Thor, Ragnarok. But Asano's gotten an upgrade in Mortal Kombat, landing the role of Raiden, the non-Asgardian God of Thunder.
Yeah. I'm into that casting. I like that.
CC Stringer as Melina.
Oh, shit, bitch.
I'm already here for it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
She's a newcomer who is a clone of Kitana.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, you know that, though, if you know the lore.
And she's one of the badass Kunoichi, female ninja, for those who don't know. She's the one that wields sais.
Let's make sure that the costumes in this movie are a little more
Functional,
conservative.
Functional with a touch of sexy.
Right, because I just want to see all the fuckboys get mad about it.
Because we're not running around in bikini tops and microskirts and thigh-high heel boots.
Please don't do that. I mean, I'm here for it, but don't do that.
Right, like, the looks are sickening, but they're not functional.
Like, that was sickening in the 90s when the first game came out.
Yeah,
that's what they
but, like, can we, like, I want to see more of, like, the outfits like the Amazons were wearing in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because those are lit. Or, like, fucking, what is her name?
From what?
Star Wars.
Captain Phasma?
Yeah. Like, I was into that. Even though Phasma had, like, thick dick energy.
Ooh, oh, yeah. Look, Gwendolyn Christie, the fact that she...
Thick dick energizer bunny. You didn't hear that. I'm glad you coughed. I said thick dick energizer bunny.
Anyway,
but yeah.
I just love the fact that she, like, can stand flat-footed in front of me, flat-footed, and we'll be eye level with each other. Like, I'm here for that. I'm surprised that's not a sound effect for you.
Oh, I'll leave Britney alone. Wow. I'm very upset with myself.
Woo. Okay. Oh, that was a good one. I am sorry for anybody's ears I may have damaged in that.
I would like to show you
because
that
whew,
shit
Jesus.
that you just left behind.
Next,
I don't get paid enough for this.
you get paid in my undying love and gratitude.
Alright, whatever, I guess.
Next, we've got Lu Di Lin as Liu Kang.
Okay, let me see. Come on. They better cast that show. Okay.
Oh,
wait, hold on.
He was in the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Oh, he was.
As well as the Black Mirror episode Striking Vipers.
Oh, shit. That one everybody was making fun of.
Probably.
For whatever reason. I need to just watch it and see what all the memes were about.
I do too,
Because
actually.
we walked in on the on Geek Set talking about that at Wakanda Con.
Oh,
and I'm glad
right.
I missed the spoilers because I wanted to know what all the memes were about.
We've also got Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero.
Let me see Subby. Oh shit, that's okay. I'm really liking
Renowned
these casting
martial artist and
choices.
James Wan player Joe Taslim from The Raid, Fast and Furious 6, The Night Comes For Us, will slip into the glacial gear of Sub-Zero. You know, iconic.
I want to know who wrote that because this bitch has been playing Mortal Kombat since they were 2.
Da, 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 da. They had better reference that.
That's why I was surprised if you asked me if that was the 80s or 90s when that was the theme song for the movie.
I'm not as much of a music historian.
This
pussy. Mark this pussy.
Mark this pussy.
Really? Honestly?
Our Australian bounty hunter daddy Kano is being played by Josh Lawson from House of Lies. Yeah, no, the one from the game could get it.
Yeah, one from the game could just
I gotta see him in his full
tear it
costume.
up like newspaper.
Jessica McNamee is playing Sonya Blade.
Okay, let me see. Oh, okay, yeah. I've seen her. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
She'd be a little more, I don't know. Sonya gives me like butch-ish vibes. Like not crazy butch. Especially not the old one, because the old Sonya was like, I played with Barbies when I was a kid, and then I borrowed my brother's G.I. Joe dolls for a little bit, and here I am. That's what Sonya gave me back in the 90s. And later on, she got more like butch energy. That's my only complaint, but I'm sure she's going to eat that up because she's actually talented.
We've got Louis Tan, but they haven't said who he's playing yet.
Like Goro.
He's in Deadpool 2 and Wu Assassins on Netflix.
Alright, so since you brought that up.
Also, Max Huang is playing Kung Lao.
Oh, bitch. It's Mr. Negative all over again.
Mark this pussy.
Oh, fuck.
Are you okay?
Oh my god. I don't know why. But I forget his name. Mr. Negative from Marvel's The PS4 Spider-Man.
Martin Lee.
He could fuck me into negation. Like, forever. Like, bitch, my pussy do inverted colors after.
Are you done?
No, I'm sure not. Alright.
Bitch, thirsty ass.
Okay, so let's see. There's someone they did. Oh, he's probably gonna play Shao Kahn. Let me see him.
Maybe. You know what? I could see it in the cheekbones.
Right, he's ready to be Shao Kahn. Who do they not mention?
That's
playing
really
Johnny
Shao
Cage.
Kahn. He might be Noob Saibot.
That'd be shocking.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
Noob Saibot was a fan character.
Yeah. It was like it was from a glitch in the old game. Yeah.
No, I forget how, but Noob Saibot. Do you know who that originally is? Some fan of the series named Tobias Boone.
Oh. Right, but I thought it was because he was the person that found like this weird glitchy version of it was either Scorpion or one of them.
Maybe.
And it was alternate colors. So then people in his friend circle dubbed it Noob Saibot because he was the one that found it. It was his name backwards. And then once the creators got wind of it, they actually put him in the game. Like as a secret character at first, and now like a full-on
Regular character.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing Louis Tan as Shao Kahn, possibly Baraka.
Did Kano get mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the lackluster Australian guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Ermac.
That could be Ermac.
Can we just throw Lady Gaga in there to play Sindel?
I'm mad my bitch ain't in this movie.
Can we just throw Lady Gaga
I
in there?
stand for her since I was a child.
Actually, no. You know who should be Sindel just for fun? Kristen Chenoweth.
She would eat that shit alive. Fucking alive.
All 5 feet of her.
She would eat that role alive. And y'all. Ooh.
Quan Chi.
I didn't think about that.
He would make a sickening Quan Chi.
Quan Chi. It's me, Goro.
Or Kenshi, possibly.
Oh yeah, I see Kenshi a lot too. Yeah, there's a lot of different options. But I feel like he's gonna end up playing a big baddie though. So if that's the case,
Quan Chi or fuck, Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn.
Wait, is it Shao Kahn?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Shao Kahn.
For some reason, I thought that was the name of a villain in some other series.
Shere Khan from fucking.
That's why.
Yeah, from Lady of the Tramp. Ooh, that'd be hilarious if he was in that movie as like a little tiny kitten. Jungle Book. Who else?
Stryker, possibly.
He's not relevant.
No, here's the thing. Fuck. Kano, or rather, Sonya Blade's nemesis is Kano because Kano killed Sonya's partner. So what if Sonya's partner is Stryker, played by Louis Tan?
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he's probably gonna be a big baddie. But they did Shao Kahn in the last movie, like the first one, didn't they? In the old one, the 90s one.
It was Shang Tsung.
It was Shang Tsung, was it?
Because there was that horrible.
Oh,
Didn't
they hint at Shao Kahn? Was he in the second one?
I don't think I ever saw the second one, honestly.
Like, I think they were hinting at Shao Kahn. He was either in them or not. Because if they bring Shao Kahn, I could see him being that, or I could see him being fucking.
Did I say Johnny Cage was in this?
No, Johnny Cage is not in it. Is he in it?
Not that I can see. I'm scrolling through real quick, and no.
All right, good.
Who would you cast as Johnny Cage?
None, because I hate Johnny Cage.
I feel like we need.
Guile's better. That was just a rip off. That was a rip off of Guile.
Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Sonic Boom.
I prefer Guile.
I prefer the original.
What do you mean the original? The original what? What?
That's the thing. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, I was gonna say, bitch. I was gonna check you. I was gonna punch you if you were like shading Guile like that.
Stop. I feel like no. We need to have some like throwaway person be Johnny Cage.
What if it was fucking the guy who played Guile in the old Street Fighter movie? What was his name? The martial artist dude.
What if we had some like up and coming actor, just as like a quick part? Wait, what was Johnny Cage isn't Sonya's partner.
Later on in the new one, he is.
That would be a way to get somebody who's trying to be up and coming to do something, and would give her more of a plot.
Yeah, because in the new one, like in the newer games, which I feel like they're basing the movie off of, because it has a thick ass story now. They're probably gonna do that and make Johnny Cage the partner. But
they had better put the theme in there, or I will riot.
Some weird orchestral version.
Honestly, I could see it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, honestly, we saw what Jordan Peele did with I Got Five on It.
Which is iconic.
And chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those cheekbones, I could see him being Quan Chi. Give him a bald cap and those cheekbones.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the old version.
That nose was a choice.
Yeah, whoa. Chile, Argentina. Alright. So, is there anything else?
For our nerd stuff?
I think, I don't know if I mentioned it, but Disney Plus released all the shit that they're gonna have on day one. And it's everything, bitch.
You did talk about it.
Every fucking thing. Treasure Planet's on it.
Oh, that's one of my favorite
Treasure
movies.
Island, the old one that they based it off of.
Treasure Planet is one of my old Disney Lost era movies.
That's gonna be there. Like any movie you can think of that Disney came out with that was underrated, it's there.
I'm Still Here from that movie still like gives me like,
especially in the context of the movie.
Oof.
Y'all ain't seen Treasure Planet?
Have you seen Titan AE?
No. What is that?
That is, I want to say that's a Dan Bluth or Don Bluth movie.
Don Bluth.
Because he has a tendency to draw people.
You know what? That was like Dimitri? Bitch, you in space now?
Yeah, because Don Bluth only knew how to draw two men.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Though
Is there a girl in this?
I went all the way up for Titan AE though.
I hate that that's just Dimitri. I really do hate that.
I mean, when you got something that works, why fuck with it?
It's the exact. It's Dimitri like,
with blonde hair.
I'm so annoyed. Haircut.
It's the
just
curtains.
Two-toned.
It's the curtains.
Yeah.
It's not that it's two-toned.
I don't know who this girl is with. She's actually kind of. That's kind of a look.
That's with the long in the front, short in the back.
Yeah, that's kind of a look. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the look I wish I had, but I have textured hair. But yeah, it's Don Bluth.
You know what was in the corner of those related pictures?
What?
Don Bluth only knew how to draw one man.
I saw that.
And it was the three main things that he's known for off in the corner. Mm-hmm. Some movie I don't remember the name of, Anastasia and Titan AE.
American Tail?
No. I mean, with humans.
Oh. I thought you meant, the rat dude. It was like the big guy who also looks like the rat dude from American Tail? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought you meant that. But no?
No, I'm talking, there's some completely different movie, the name I don't know.
Yeah, but it's the same guy in every movie. Yeah. Come on, Donnie.
So are we going to talk about the concert?
Concert time.
Okay, so for those of us who are, who followed us on Instagram.
Wow. Finger guns and all. Y'all need an uncle for hire.
Yes, and I will be your kid's favorite uncle.
True.
So Vesta and I, as part of our random TBK Travels hashtag that we're trying to get going, went to part of the Chicago Music Theater's World Music Festival, which this past Wednesday featured Jeremy Dutcher, which we'll get into him in a little bit, as well as the Inglewood Soweto Exchange.
That was what my other rant was going to be about.
Oh, so do we want to... So then let me talk about them.
Yes.
Because, we can just stick to talking about the music, and then we can talk about the antics later.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get to that. So we skate in just barely on time because fucking Chicago traffic.
We missed the first song, I think.
We missed the first 3/4 of the first song.
Yeah.
And snuck in right as he was finishing. It was just him and a piano. And it was in this intimate theater. It was a 2-tier theater, but it maybe would have held like 150 people at most.
More than that.
You sure?
The bottom could have held 150 people. And so could the theater.
Stop!
I'm just kidding. Jeremy's probably not a bottom.
We're not going to get into that, especially if he starts listening to this.
I know, Jeremy. If you're listening, we love you. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, this is why I'm glad I silenced my phone.
My phone's on silent.
Your phone's on vibrate.
Whatever.
There's a difference. So we scoot in. I'm trying to think of what the first song that he was doing.
I was lost in all of it, so...
Well, okay. Just for a refresher, Jeremy Dutcher is the Canadian First Nations opera singer who created an album based on wax recordings of his ancestors singing and talking.
Which is iconic.
Uh-huh. Oh, God. We could have a whole nother mental health section about that. Because... Ooh, let me not, because I was about to go take myself to church. Anyway...
Mm-hmm. Jeremy just does that, though.
Oh,
you don't have to. Here's the thing I love about Jeremy's music. You don't got to understand a word of what he's saying. Because you won't, unless you know it. Which apparently is kind of a very secluded language.
There are roughly 100 speakers remaining.
Right.
And I'm hoping I'm referencing right. Walastoq.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember if that's the tribe or the language, unfortunately. And I wish I had my notes in front of me, but I kind of wanted to focus on the music. That's okay, though.
But it was... You don't have to understand a word he's saying.
Because you can feel it.
And, you feel that. Every word.
You can see it. You can see it in his face as he's singing.
Wait, Like, that was a religious experience.
It really was. And he even mentioned something about that at one point during his set, saying how with the continued secularization of the world, we don't really sing together anymore, and singing together as humans is something that is a bonding act.
Right. It is.
You know, we might do it for concerts, but not everybody goes to concerts.
Right.
But let me think. I think he actually, what's the first song that he played after we sit down was the one where we were stomping?
No.
That was the second one?
You're right, because there was this old hag next to us that kept stopping out of tempo, and after everybody else was done.
Yeah. No, that was Esuanike, which I actually remember. But there was one point in the song where it kind of gets more upbeat, and in the actual album version, there's somebody actually playing a drum set. But he got the crowd to stomp in time, and some lady just continued stomping.
Oh my God.
Ma'am, we just want the silence, ma'am.
We just want the Dutcher, ma'am.
We get it. One of your best friends is a Negro, and you know a little bit of tempo.
Oh, one of her best friends is Aloha. Do you remember that video? Have you seen that video?
You're gonna have to show me.
Y'all already know. If y'all know, y'all know.
But he played that. He played something where he had a comment at the end of it. It was like, anybody who's into music will be wondering how I did that, because he was like shaking.
No, he got a kick out of that.
Oh, right. But he had a shaker going with some beads or something in it, and was stomping, and it was like a different tempo, but the same tempo at the same time while he was singing. Like, I felt my lace already start to peel back a little.
My lace was gone the second I walked through that door.
Basically.
Listen.
He played a bunch. He played one of my favorite songs from the album, which I think I've managed to memorize how to say properly. Oh, Jesus. Put me on the spot. Anyway, the name of the song is Pomak Nakapaknonisquez.
I wish I could talk like that.
Which translates out to the fisherman and the water spirit.
I love that song.
And it's the one where at the very end of it, he gets up from the piano, leans into the body of the piano, and is singing full force into it.
And you hear echoes. Oh my God.
And it echoes everywhere, and you hear the strings. Like, there's a delay with the echo too.
Yeah.
Like, he stops, and then the strings start vibrating with the same tones that he was singing, and it was just an experience.
Wild. Yeah.
And then for like kind of an encore performance,
because
honestly,
he didn't come to snatch one wig.
All of them. Just a whole box. Just, here you go. So what he did at the very end is something very similar to what he did for his Tiny Desk concert, but the difference is that we all continued. But he recorded people for the Tiny Desk and then recorded some more people and had them playing in the background. But what he did is that he had half the room hum a G and half the room hum a B, if I remember correctly. And it was just everybody just
It was like consistent. Yeah.
So it was a drone.
I also like how he said breathe if you have to. I'm like, bitch, you already know. Because some of these people here can't hold a note for more than 3 seconds.
And then he just starts going in with he sings one round of the song, which, by the way,
my favorite part.
Which, by the way, he explained before he sung it that was a love song, which, if I remember what he said correctly, the lyrics roughly translate out to, if you're ever feeling lonely, simply look up the river and see me coming down in a canoe to comfort you.
Yeah.
But we're droning on and on and on, and he starts with the first line of the song, or the first, the verse of the song, and he's recording himself doing it, and then it loops back around, and then he starts recording again,
harmonizing
with himself.
I was like, bitch, me too.
And then the third time, he's harmonizing with himself third time, and then he lets it continue playing as he's going on a fourth round with his own little ad-lib on all the notes, but still singing all the same notes, and I'm just over here like, I'm just...
My wig.
That was all 5 of them flying off at once.
I am not Max Kanemaru. Please tell me you know what that's a reference to.
Vaguely.
The Pride Month guy who had like a shit ton of wigs on. It was just off.
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah.
Off. Yeah. That was that was an experience. And his commentary on the fact that we don't really sing in groups anymore outside of religious things, and feeling that like it's an experience to be able to bond with people like that.
Right.
Even though, around 100 people speak this language, we all still felt something out of it.
Yeah.
There was one that he sang that was a lullaby, and while I wasn't falling asleep, obviously, but I could like feel something relaxing coming out of that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. I was already like, can I have that?
Oh my god. My Ren Fair fan, if y'all follow the Instagram.
Yeah, which you should follow the Instagram.
Ew.
Let me see. But then, and I'm still kicking myself. Matter of fact, when we're done recording, my ass is recording ordering the vinyl.
Okay.
But we went to go look at the album, get the album art or get the album and stuff. And the lady running the merch desk was like, "I'm sorry, my app only takes cards from Canada."
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck.
Right.
I don't.
You could have got it signed too.
Oh,
That'd have been something.
Because the thing is that this is like a holdover from my ex. I don't like carrying cash. Especially, because you personally have seen how tiny my wallet is. That girl, she don't hold cash. She is here for cards and an ID.
Right.
I can hold a little bit, but no. But
if you lose it, you lose it.
Exactly. But we actually got to meet him after the fact. One, he's taller than I thought he would be. Why are you smiling?
You already know why I'm smiling.
Bitch. So I am trying my best not to vibrate into another plane because I am just gagging because somebody whose music I was introduced to by a fucking Facebook video, because it was the video of him accepting his Juno Award.
Yeah, that's when you showed me that too.
And then I looked up the album and couldn't understand a word of it and just got my entire life anyway. But to be able to actually meet the person behind such a strong experience, I'm over here trying not to just fall over. And so I go up to him and I'm just like, before we say anything else, thank you, merci, because French, Canadian. And because I'm a giant nerd, I was paying attention during the Tiny Desk concert where he told the crowd how to say thank you in his language, which is Wiliwin. Which I also said to him, and he was like, "Hey, it's my first one hearing that," and I'm like,
and then
go ahead, tell them what happened.
And then I was just turned it all the way up
because Vesta was wearing all 7 of his rings.
Yeah, okay, so I used to have 8. I wear whenever I feel like being fancy. Fancy equates to having every ring I have on my finger at once. And I don't wear no tiny shit. I wear thick ass sterling silver rings. And so I went to him and I was like, "You are the most precious being, one of the most precious people in this world. You need to be cherished." And he started blushing. And then I said, "Also, I don't know if you're single or not, but I have about 7 rings on my finger. I can stand to lose one." Can't miss that.
Which I'm still upset that I missed that.
And he started laughing, but then he held out his hands,
which were a lot bigger than I was expecting.
And and he was just like, "No, I mean, perfectly single here." And I was like, "Oh shit, babe." And we're gonna sound like total nerds with lack of professionalism, but oh my god, he followed us.
Yeah, followed both of your Instagrams.
He followed my personal and my Vesta page, which he ain't left yet. There's weird shit on the Vesta one.
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
he ain't left yet.
Creative types.
Yeah.
But it was such an experience, and if ever I am up in Canada the same time he's performing, bitch,
I just got my fucking passport, so bitch,
I gotta get mine renewed.
Say the word.
I gotta get mine renewed.
The word,
because it is such an experience, and he's indigenous, and we as a culture need to listen to indigenous people more. Because, well, one, they were here first. I'm pretty sure they know a little more about the land than you might.
Right.
Hello and goodbye. But there was something else that he said during the show. Something about how people these days, and by people he meant settlers, are so short-sighted and so focused on what they can get in their lifetime, and they don't pay attention to how. Well, he didn't go on that. I'm expanding a little bit, because what he said is that short-sighted, you don't think about what would happen to the people 7 generations down based on their actions down.
All the actions we're making really only affect the people 7 generations down.
Yeah. He also shaded the shit out of both Trump and Trudeau, which I'm here
without
for.
saying
either of their names.
And I'm like, that is a level of shade that Prince would just applaud very silently off in the corner. How do you think Prince would have felt about Jeremy Dutcher? I feel like it'd be a little different for Prince, seeing as Prince is very in his roots, whereas Jeremy is very much in his there.
I feel like, you know what it is? You know what I feel like would happen? You know that picture that floats around on Facebook from time to time, where it's like when you, a queen, see another queen and confer on how to maximize your joint slay.
Oh my god! Just replace it with Jeremy and Prince over a cup of tea. That'd be legendary.
Prince in his purple.
I can draw you guys, so if you guys want that to be a thing.
But yeah, I'm stammering still, and it's been almost a full week.
Right, it was iconic.
I wish I could have, just perfectly, eidetic memory recorded everything, except for Grandma Stomps a lot. We can leave her.
Yeah, you should have seen the faces. You were ignoring it. I kept looking over to see people's faces.
Oh, no, I saw some of these faces.
I ain't never seen so much stank in a white woman's face. This one bitch turned around and she was like, heifer. She said heifer with all 4 of her eyeballs. And anyway, so I think we should leave the second man for my rant.
You can talk about him specifically. I do want to touch on the performance at the very least.
Okay. Right.
Because
that was also legendary.
Yeah, Mama on the keys.
Mama on the main vocals, and
Artemis.
2 rappers.
I can't remember the other guy's name, and I feel so bad.
Same.
The only reason I remember Artemis is because my DM's cat is also named Artemis.
Right.
So I already know something in my circle named Artemis. Also, Artemis Fowl, the series. But okay, so the Inglewood Soweto Exchange is effectively a group of musicians, partially from Inglewood, Chicago, partially from Soweto, South Africa. Damn. And they blend jazz, they blend hip hop, they do R&B, they snatch a wig with vocals.
Honestly.
And some of it's in English, some of it is in Zulu, some of it is in Xhosa, some of it is in a bunch. It's all over the place. But there's let me see, there's keys, there's primary vocals. There's rap 1, rap 2.
There's grand piano keys and electric piano keys.
I was getting there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you just said keys.
What I'm doing is going through, going across everybody. So where'd I leave off? Rap 1, rap 2, upright bass,
which was lit.
Drums, which was also lit. Somebody who we don't care about. Electric keys, who was just getting his entire life over there.
That's one of my favorite instruments.
The electric keys?
Electric key, specifically that.
That kind of electric key?
Yeah.
And doesn't surprise me.
And the saxophone.
The 2 saxophones and the trumpet. Mm-hmm. Which, we'll get into old sax guy, but the younger sax guy...
oh, wow. Okay, wow.
Goodness. 1, yes. 2, they were saying something that we're not going to get into why, but one of the things was that the song that they started playing was written by
saxophonist brother.
Yeah, who I guess passed or something, because you could see the emotion in the guy's face while he was playing.
Yeah, that was such a good song. Though.
Oh my god, I felt that in every part of my chest.
Yeah,
he was. There was something about the saxophone when you really want to put your damn emotion into it that it just connects.
True.
But it was such an experience that I would, with some edits, experience again, because I'm sure Vesta will get into shortly.
My musician brain was irritated.
Oh yes, my distant musician brain was like,
it was irritated.
It was like, girl, if you don't.
Because I learned this lesson because I was that person. So I'm not just speaking out of my ass here.
Yeah. Oh, well, just as a little precursor to this, Jeremy also did a little bit of talking, but he at several times was like,
okay.
But he did a couple of things but let me stop talking. Let me just play the music.
Hello. And then he went and played the fucking music. Mm-hmm. And then stopped speaking English for a good long time.
Oh God, he had that whole section where he was just speaking while I stuck, and I'm just like,
I don't know what you're saying, but I live.
It's just it just sounded like he was just making calm observations.
Also, he had this see-through top, it was like an overcoat on top of the shirt, it was red.
It was sheer.
It's sheer.
And had like some lace on the bottom.
On it.
I'm surprised you didn't message his Instagram and be like, where'd you get that? I need it.
I'm sure it's probably, well, no, it's probably not expensive. Well, it should be like handmade though. Because, bitch, I would do some shit like that.
Guess it's because you love lace and sheer.
So are we good?
I'm good about that, which means
One more thing
to talk about. Oh shit. Let me just sit back.
So since we're coming off this band, name the band's name?
The Englewood Soweto Exchange.
Okay. They were amazing. The
Mostly.
songs were amazing. However, I've never heard a band leader talk and over-direct so much in my life. Like, to the point where I didn't want to be there because I was tired of him. He would just over-explain. And my thing is, I get a little backstory because Jeremy did that. Jill Scott does that in a lot of her shows. She gives a little backstory, gives a little anecdote here and there. But then you know what they do? They go into the music and let the music explain the rest of the story. You don't have to explain
everything
where you came from, what your mama wore to the last function 2 nights ago, how the cornbread was tasting at this family reunion. We don't have to know that. Let your song explain it for you. That was my first problem. Second problem.
Here we go.
There's a guy in the back in between the drummer and the
electric keys.
Yeah. He was on a sampler. Now, I get trying to do things different.
Because we have a sampler.
Right, and even we use it a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, but we try to use it for comedic effect.
Right. It's necessary. Unlike...
You big, fat, white, nasty, smelling, fat bitch.
Well, I'm not going to shade him. Because he looked like he was doing what he could. Here's my thing, though. When you want to do something different and complimentary. Don't do something different for the sake of being different.
Because the samples themselves.
Then your career ends up like Madonna, where she can't do nothing original or talented. She spit it out.
Well, I mean, when you're like,
grills.
when you're like 80% plastic, it's kind of hard to be original.
She was just old. Because she is aging. You know, I still think about that picture where she wore grills to an award show. You seen that? Yeah. So anyway.
No.
Yeah. And also.
I'm sorry.
So with the sampler guy, there were points in that where he didn't need to be there. If he was gone, there'd be no change to the music whatsoever. And that was my biggest problem.
If it doesn't add, it distracts.
If it doesn't add, don't need to be there. Yeah.
If it doesn't add, it distracts.
Right. And that's what he was. And this is coming from a man who will fuck a sampler up if he gets the chance. But I was like that when I was in high school, and I performed my first big performances in front of the entire student body in school. In school, I was a victim of that when I first performed because I went over the top of sampling.
Maybe he's newer then. Because I get where you're coming from, but also that could also in a way be where you came from. And look at you now with this sickening music that you're making.
Yeah, but it's just, what he was doing would fit better with a studio recording. That's how I feel about it.
Yes, okay, that I will give you 100%.
Because you'd be able to hear it. It'd be necessary. It would fit. There's a lot of things that I would that I've used, or Mr. Fanhead has used, because we've talked about this before on many occasions, where there are things that if we perform live, we wouldn't use it. That the same shit as the studio recording. We would perform an entirely different arrangement because what works on studio
doesn't necessarily work
doesn't
live.
Translate well into live. And I really hope that didn't pick up. Okay, it didn't. My phone just vibrated.
Well, now everybody knows.
Fuck you. Give me my fucking fan back, bitch. But that's where I stand with that. And like I said, not to take away from the greatness that was that set.
Oh,
because it was amazing.
There was so much glorious blackness.
Ooh, last thing. White people.
Oh.
We got to a song at the end, and I think the entire song was just "We'll Be Free."
We'll be free.
Yeah,
We'll
and
be
it was
free.
a church.
We'll
it
be
was
free.
church Sunday in the black neighborhood. That's what that song was. And it was about. We know what it's about. We know what it's about, and other people of color know what that song is about. White people sitting here getting their life dancing like golden eye glitch. And without any understanding of like what the fuck they're talking about. But you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. That's why I'm laughing.
I was hot, y'all, while Kay over there dies. I was hot. And I was uncomfortable. Because it's like, this is not your fucking song. This will never be your fucking song.
We were singing this shit because of you.
You're the reason we even have to sing it. You're the people that passed on the religion that we adapted to have some actual soul in it in order to make the song. Because Catholic Mass ain't got no gospel. Okay? And I was uncomfortable. And I was ready to... Kay knows, I was about ready to bounce.
Yeah, you were ready to bounce.
I was uncomfortable
and like,
with that whole thing. I was already uncomfortable off the bat. Because a lot of this shit, a lot of the soul, a lot of the lyrics, a lot of what they're talking about...
We're black as fuck.
Straight over these white people's heads. Like, saxophone. And the dude in front of us kept mumbling something every time old dude was talking. Don't know what he said, but I didn't like it. I was uncomfortable.
Old dude was like a whole uncle. Like that one
when
part
he started dancing. Oh,
he was like,
okay.
that. You know what that dance looked like?
That looked like
what y'all know about this?
That looked like you make me happy. It looked like that song just came on.
That is exactly the. I promise you that's what you know about this. What in the?
You mean like how you dance?
You big fat white nasty smelling bitch.
I don't want to apologize for that because you actually kind of do that just sometimes.
Bitch.
Though. But you're a part of the in-between generation.
You
know, so...
And part of the nigga, what the fuck?
Before technology, after technology. So you have uncle tendencies. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of comes from that.
On the very tail end of the in-between.
Yeah, you're on the tail end of that. But yeah.
I'll let you have that.
Yeah. That's the only reason I say that. Say that. Because Matt also has that. Okay.
Uncle tendencies?
Yeah, Matt has auntie tendencies. Drunk auntie tendencies.
Stop.
What? I'm not saying that he gets drunk, but he gets other people drunk. And this is like, I told you, baby. That's what the energy that Matt gives off.
Stop. It fucking hurt me.
Last thing I'm going to rant about. Fantasia.
Miss Barino.
Ma'am.
Pick Misha.
Now I'm going to speak this very eloquently to you because I know you can't read.
She is not Floyd Mayweather.
She can't read. I remember when that was a joke that came and I felt kind of bad, but now I don't. She was talking about some women can't find good men anymore because they don't submit. Submit to what? Unwashed balls, dirty booty holes,
Dingleberries.
Yeah. Ankh necklaces. What? Because last I checked, the only people that get anywhere in this life are the people that stand up for their fucking self, partners included. A true partnership is those two people living in themselves and enjoying each other living in themselves. That's what a true fucking partnership is. This whole submitting to the man because women and this and that and
also the third.
Eat my entire bourgeois because I will eat your and I will punch you dead in the throat on some hotepery. We ain't overstanding nothing that you said, Fantasia. Okay, I'm sick. I'm mad about that because there are people that still think that.
Like I said, pick Misha.
Right. So you can't sing. Hold on, let me look at what I said because I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, I said she sounded like a SeaWorld dolphin having a C-section.
Now don't. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
Bitch. She done call about 3 dolphins to her stage.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Bye, bitch. You're canceled. You're done. And from now on, you will not be named by name. You will be only mentioned to as many other people.
I'm sorry. Who?
Thank you.
Next. So, my turn.
Yeah.
And I want to pull this up so I can accurately
Okay, while he
talk
does
about
that,
it.
one more thing. This tiny thing, I swear to God. I mean, you probably will. Men. Quit referring to women as females. It gets on my fucking nerves. You can be men. But if let a woman start calling y'all males, and y'all gonna get pressed as hell. I hate people that call it, because I've corrected somebody about 5 times on their statuses, because they go, why do females always? I'm like, well.
Female what?
Right. Hello.
Female is an adjective.
You like dogs, bitch, woof?
Stop!
What? Anyway, that's it. Your turn. Before I blow up this microphone.
I'm going to read an article. The title is Anti-Vaxxers March on Nazifornia Capitol, chanting no segregation and we shall overcome.
What?
Over the past 2 weeks, protesters have flooded the California state capitol to oppose a bill that restricts the medical exemptions parents have been using to avoid vaccinating their children. The outcry comes 4 years after state lawmakers eliminated personal belief and religious exemptions for public school attendees, which were the most common workarounds used to get kids enrolled without having them vaccinated. The anti-vax movement has been ridiculed widely, as deserved. Critics lambast its adherents for willfully exposing other people's children to preventable diseases like the measles, often based on dubious medical beliefs like that vaccines cause autism. Newsflash, they fucking don't! Sorry. But amid their subsequent claims to victimhood and oppression, anti-vaxxers had largely avoided marching in major cities singing "We Shall Overcome" and chanting "No segregation, no discrimination, education for all," while carrying signs that read "Welcome to Nazifornia" until now.
This is like when the gays hijacked civil rights movement.
Now, here's something funny. Here's something funny. Before I get into the fire and brimstone of what I would like to say, the funny thing is that you know the phrase, everything you have, you got from us.
Right.
The civil rights movement was, by and large, one of the largest and most organized movements in the history of the country. It is something that most movements are based off of. So, in some aspects, I can kind of understand how they're behaving. But the fact that they're directly doing this over easily disprovable pseudoscience is what's getting me. Janelle, Elderflower, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself this week, you are not being prevented from voting. You are not being prevented from using water fountains. You are not even being prevented from getting your child educated. Homeschooling is a thing. You
ain't getting hosed down by firemen.
You're not getting dogs sent on you. You're not getting bricks thrown through your wall. You're not getting firebombs thrown into your church and killing children. None of these things are happening to you. You are being prevented from your child going to public school because your dumbass decided to do some Google foo and find some dubious article saying that vaccines cause autism or some dumb shit like that. Off of one article that has been disproved multiple times. You doing all this Google foo and thinking you know more than people that have gone to school longer than your ass has been fucking married to your husband that doesn't love you any the fuck more, first of all, bitch. This little Google thing that you think you did that makes you smarter than doctors, it doesn't work, it doesn't count. Oh, but these vaccines have mercury in them. First of all, thimerosal is a mercury derivative that is mostly removed in the large majority of vaccines. Second, the fuck all, if you were that concerned about the mercury in vaccines, a lot of vaccines have actually had alternatives created for just that concern. Even though mercury has been largely taken out, it still exists in trace forms in most major forms of vaccines, but similar but more expensive versions without it exist.
Also, fish has mercury in it, and they'll talk about how they're nice fishy diet.
We can talk about like your bitch vegan ass eating apples left, right, and center. But what about the cyanide that's present in apples? What about all these other chemicals that are somewhere? Like, you are showing your ignorance by saying that you're
really
afraid of.
Only care about problems when they
affect you. But here's my point. There are all these things that are present. Hell, if I remember correctly, vitamin B12 is literally part cyanide, but I bet your ass is trying to get as much of it as possible to get some energy to keep up with your kids that you won't stop fucking caffeinating. So, Jesus. I like the fact that they're appropriating the fuck out of the original civil rights movement and singing "We shall overcome." Bitch, get your kid poked and they can go to
what?
Overcome what? The fact that the government overcome the fact that the government is saying, no, we are not letting your typhoid crotch goblin come to school and make kids sick, especially when some of these kids may have siblings or relatives or other people in their lives that are immunocompromised or one way or another.
And then people go up and dying.
Exactly.
Oh, but vaccines.
But vaccines are bad. Vaccines cause autism.
That's how superbugs happen, yo.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with the vaccines cause autism. So?
It's almost like you're saying you'd rather have your child die than have autism.
You would rather have your child
autistic.
You would rather have your child be dead or have their quality of life thoroughly impacted than risk them having quote unquote risk them having autism. No, it doesn't happen. We're still trying to figure out exactly where autism comes from, but it was around before vaccines were.
How about that?
So how about that? Like, I cannot. Like,
I didn't even know about this.
I quite literally want to slap, like, full big ass size 17 ass ring hands, open hand slap half of these people for being that obtuse and intentionally so. You are endangering other students. You are endangering yourself just because, oh, but if vaccines work so well, then I don't need to take one. Vaccines work so well because everybody's taking them, and any kind of bug that these vaccines prevent has nowhere to go. By getting vaccinated, you are making sure that the people around you who are immunocompromised don't get sick by something that would another person might be able to handle and take and fight off just fine. But if somebody's immunocompromised, a fucking cold or flu can kill them.
Literally.
But you're clearly more worried about, juniper berry not getting poked with the scary thing because you did some Google foo and found out that chemicals are in.
Because you don't want your child to be autistic.
Oh no.
Or the R slur, as a lot of people I've seen use.
Oh, like Paul. Oh yeah. I haven't forgotten about him and his affinity for using that word. I just like this flabbergasts me.
Flabbergasted me when you just said it, because I did not hear about that.
Oh, and yet there's a second thing that I wanted to talk the fuck about today, on this day, on God's green earth, the one that she gave us, somehow, some way, and I'm making sure, of fucking course it's Florida.
Oh God.
Let me
Where all the problematic bears go to retire.
Let me lubricate and read this bitch.
Slide some oil to me and let me lubricate my mind.
Okay. Let me read the title of this article. Florida girl, 6, arrested for battery by school resource officer for temper tantrum.
Oh my God, I read that.
I'm going to read the headline again. I'm going to read the headline again.
I thought that was fake. That was real. Are you serious?
Actually, let me reread the title and then read part of the article. Florida girl, 6, arrested for battery by school resource officer for temper tantrum. A Florida grandmother claims her 6-year-old granddaughter was arrested by a resource officer after throwing a temper tantrum at school, which she says happened because the child suffers from sleep apnea. She is a whole 6-year-old who doesn't get enough sleep, so she's prone to having, temper issues here and there.
Breathe when she sleeps.
So she's fucking tired.
And that ain't no shit you can let a child have, because I could barely function when I was leaving my apnea untreated. So I can't even imagine how that would affect a 6-year-old.
The child was acting out at her school, a charter school in Orlando, as a result of lack of sleep. The 6-year-old was then brought to the principal's office. Grandma told the TV station that while there, a school staff employee grabbed Kaya's wrist, that's the girl's name, sparking her to lash out and kick her legs. Because you just don't fucking grab on somebody.
Who's already in a way.
The school... The school resource officer, Dennis Turner of the Orlando Police Department, handcuffed Kaya and transported her to the Juvenile Assessment Center in Orlando on a battery charge. Her grandmother said that the child was fingerprinted and had her mugshot taken.
She's 6 with apnea, dog. And oh my god, I didn't know this was a real thing.
I am actually going to present this without comment.
Like,
because
you can't even...
Well, without a full fiery comment,
Yeah,
because I guarantee you Vesta's mom will come the fuck down here and ask what all that noise is about, because I will get to full strength screaming.
What the hell?
I will get to full strength screaming, so I will do my best to keep this rant at a neutral level. I would like to meet this officer. I would like to meet him in a dark alley with no cameras.
Hello.
You bad enough to fight a 6-year-old, I'm sure you can handle a 28-year-old powerlifter.
And you can handle a 23-year-old bitch with a stick?
I don't need a stick.
I need a stick. But yeah,
I don't need your help either.
Oh, okay. I'm scared.
This is one of those cases where one of the few things that will truly and well piss me off to the point of tears and battery, and I will smile in my mugshot. You have got to be the coldest, most insensitive, out of touch piece of shit on this planet to fully arrest a 6-year-old having a tantrum. How hard would it have been to grab a towel or something and wrap her up in it until she calmed down?
And ask what's wrong. Did they even ask?
How hard is it to talk to this child? My nephew, let me see, what's today? Today, the day of recording today is the 22nd of September. My nephew is actually turning 6 in about a week and a half. Every time he's thrown a big tantrum, when I'm in the vicinity, I pick him up and we go for a walk and talk. I talked about this last time.
Right, and I've seen it in a smaller scale, but...
Where he was upset and I picked him up and talked to him and he calmed down.
Right.
It's almost as if children are also people who are new here and may not exactly know how everything operates.
Right.
But the fact that you saw it necessary to fully arrest a child.
Like, the amount of trauma that comes with that one incident is going to screw with that little girl forever. And people don't care.
Oh.
Like...
It gets worse.
No.
Grandma says when she told the officer that the 6-year-old has sleep apnea, which the family is working on getting resolved because the American healthcare system is so sluggish. Like,
yeah.
I know somebody
unless you got money.
I know somebody who's waiting a full 3 weeks to get their CPAP machine.
What the hell?
Yep.
3 weeks?
Yep. Oh, that's not counting the previous about 5 weeks that we've been waiting. He says, well, I have sleep apnea and I don't behave like that.
Oh my God.
Which is reinforcing I would love to come across you and see if you're that.
He said, I have sleep apnea and I don't behave like that. You just arrested a 6-year-old.
You are a whole adult who knows how to...
You arrested You handcuffed, dragged her out of school, brought her into a juvenile detention center, and mugged her, like mugshot, fingerprints. You did the whole shebang because you thought you were in the right.
He needs to be fired.
He needs to be murdered.
He needs to be excised.
Publicly executed.
He needs to be excised from the human race.
Yeah, because listen.
Like, I don't normally... And
disgusting.
Keep in mind, I love Steven Universe. I don't normally advocate for somebody not being communicated to. But the fact that this man also arrested an 8-year-old previously...
No.
And the thing is that apparently there's a caveat in his ability to work at that school that allows him to arrest children.
What? I get arresting a child if they're violent.
I maintain...
Like violent.
I maintain the most you need to do is sit on that child and wait for their mama to come. talked to one of my closest friends, who will remain nameless because some of the stuff is of a fairly sensitive nature. Excuse me. One of my closest friends actually works at a school for special needs children, a lot of which have violent histories.
Right.
They have specific and detailed codes of conduct about restraining someone who is getting out of pocket.
Right.
My friend is about 5'11", about between 180 and 200, depending on the time of year, and can restrict a child, think your build, but about a foot shorter.
Okay. Right.
If somebody of his size can restrain a child and not have to cuff them and mugshot them and fingerprint them and get them into a system that already burns the fuck out of black people.
Don't let this child be black. Oh, no. Oh, my God. See, he knew what he was doing. I want to see what this 8-year-old, if this 8-year-old was a black child, too. Like, that's on some Zimmerman shit. Really. Like, you know what you're doing. And you know you're gonna get away with it
because you're a white cop.
Because you're a white cop.
Let me before we run our mouths. I want to see what this resource officer looks like.
What's his name? Because I'll Google it. Fucking.
His name, Dennis Turner of the Orlando Police Department. You ever get like? I'm one of those people that starts crying when they get mad. I'm beyond tears. You found him?
Mm-hmm. A whole white man. Suspended.
Which means he's going to continue getting
paid.
He'll
be back once his name stops trending in the news, like the rest of the cops that have done shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like, I'm kind of at a loss for words. Like,
we need to burn this whole bitch down.
Yeah.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Fuck 12.
Stuff like this is why I will never see it for police, and I will never see it for the racists that have, and yes, all of you that have those Blue Lives Matter stickers on the back of your jank-ass pickup trucks, you are card-carrying racists, whether or not you want to admit it.
Let's all acknowledge the fact that Blue Lives Matter only showed up when Beyonce performed the halftime show.
It was before that.
I thought it was.
No.
I thought that's when it really was like.
It spiked after that, yeah.
Because she wore Black Panther, her and her
badass dancers, yeah.
We're all wearing the Black Panther.
Blue Lives Matter was a thing before then, and the fact is that Blue Lives Matter sprung up as a retort to people saying to black people saying that they mattered,
right?
Saying that I matter,
saying with all lives matter. Like that's all. Big ass temper tantrum.
Because it's not centering white voices or white lives. The sad part is that Black Lives Matter has shown up for white victims of police brutality multiple times.
Hello?
But
All Lives Matter people will only come out on Facebook comments when someone says something about white people.
Regardless, before this show runs on too long, because sweet Jesus, we've been going for a smooth 2 hours.
Oh, true. We don't do 2-hour episodes anymore.
We don't do them very often, but we also don't have multiple rants very often.
Yeah, I had about 3.
Like I said, I am beyond tears. I'm ready for action.
Yup.
So, on that note, we're going to move on to our closing words. So let me pull those up so I can say them properly. Like I said, I thought I was upset when I read the story, and then I did some digging and found out that the story wasn't fake. So, I'm just going to end the show here. That wraps up another episode of the Baldwin Kids. If you've got any questions, comments, great ideas, or just want to say hi, or have any information on how to get that bitch fired permanently, shoot us a like and a DM on our Facebook and Instagram pages. I am 100% serious.
Please.
Like, Vesta's got a knack for getting bitches fired that don't deserve to keep working. And frankly, I could take some lessons and make sure that he never gets employed again.
No shit.
Because I would be all for it. Anyway, You can also get a hold of me on Twitter and catch hands on PSN. I'm on both as The Iron Magnus. That is THEIRONMAGNUS.
I'm on Instagram as Vesta with 2 underscores. Same thing as my Twitter, but I don't open it unless it's to reblog Jenna Marbles memes. Reblog, wow. Remember when Tumblr
Remember when Tumblr mattered?
I'm sorry, who?
By the time you'll be hearing this, Love Notes, wow.
Love Notes is on all streaming platforms.
Thank you. Love Notes is already out. Who Are You Now? My current new EP will be out on Bandcamp.
Because some people are
working on everything else. People just don't. Whenever people are only on time when I'm not. So, listen to that shit and share it with your friends. Also, just forewarning though, if you're listening to this, that album is not happy at all, except for the last song. So just gird your loins for that.
Oh, do we want to tell them who's featured on the album?
Yeah. So the first song, Diamond Dreams, features our favorite,
TJ the Prophet,
who is amazing. The second song doesn't feature anybody. The third song features the owner of California Country Organics.
Oh, that song.
Tracy Kennedy, which
she's amazing.
She's an icon. She is truly, honestly, the legend of our time. And
as
the
always,
last song is co-produced by Miss Fahrenheit. So yeah, get into it.
Yeah, but get into it, get your lives. But to close, we are independent Black creatives, and we will see y'all next time. Drink some water, fuck 12, take your meds, and do better.